Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to do a little swipe for you today. I did a couple of swipes last night, just playing around, experimenting with colours as I do, and I put the photos up and everyone said, "Where's the video?" And I didn't do any, so I'm going to do you one today. I'll show you what I did yesterday. That's one of them. Navy, orange, light blue. And this one is the same colours except I added white, so it's a little bit more pale. And those ones were both with Floetrol. If you've seen my swipes, you know I use Floetrol with my swipes, 3:1. And I was wondering what would happen if I use my new mix of Floetrol, PVA, pouring medium and water, 3 parts of this to 1 part of paint. I wonder what would happen. When I mixed the paint in, it was really quite thick. It's fine for a flip cup, bit thick for a pour, so for a swipe. So I've added a teaspoon of water into each of my colours. The orange I had a little bit left from last night, and I found that the orange really takes over, so I'm only going to use half the amount of orange to the light blue. So I've got 120 grams of my homemade pouring medium and 40 grams of paint. That one is the Marina light blue, and that one is orange, the Global. If you can't find Global, just use anything really. If you're using Liquitex Basics, that's the navy. If you're using Liquitex Basics, they're quite thick. You need to add 4:1, 4 parts, pouring medium to 1 part. Paint. Now for cells, I'm adding the coconut milk hair serum. It has dimethicone in it. It's really thick, so you can give it a bit of a good stir. And I've just put it in my squeeze bottle. The orange has already got the coconut milk in it from yesterday, so into this cup I'm going to put 5 drops. Oh, that was a bit of a squeeze. I'll call that 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to be so careful trying to get 1 drop out. And just give that a bit of a mix. None in my swipe colour. Okay, so with this first one, that one, I poured the paint like this, I zigzagged up and down with the blue, and then I zigzagged up and down with the orange, and it kind of went over the blue, and then I put a bit of navy on and I zigzagged a little bit of that over as well. So it has become a little bit muddy over here where the colours have blended too much, because orange and blue are usually not good together. So I'm not going to blend them as much today. So I'm going to just pour the colours on. Actually, I think I'll put a bit more blue, because that orange really took over. And I'm going to put a bit of my swipe colour, navy, because my navy is going to be at the top. And by the time I've swiped that down and it's dispersed, by the time it gets down here, there's not much of a navy left. So I'm going to put a little bit extra in the middle. And some more orange. And then I'll just finish it off with the light blue. Whatever colour you use down the bottom, you're pretty much going to lose all of it, because the swipe is going to push it off the bottom. Bit of a blob there, don't know what that is. Just empty all of that out. So I have never used PVA in my medium for swipes. Never. Today is the first. See what happens, hey? Okay. Now I'm just going to move this around a little bit just to get the whole card covered. This is my, tell you what, people ask me more about my cards than they do about my paws. That's okay. This one's a 600 gram card. It's just a compressed cardboard box card, I guess call it. Get it off eBay. I just search thick card and it comes up. Quite inexpensive, so that's a good thing. You get 100 sheets at a time. I think it's about $15. I can't remember. $15 for 100 sheets. Pretty good. Just going to fill in my gaps here a little bit. I don't want to take too much of the paint off the card. So this is a 12 by 16 inch, 30 by 40 centimetre card. Still running quite quickly, so I know there's a lot of paint on there, and if I don't get some of it off, my cells are going to get all wobbly. I do know that I need to, if I want to keep my cell shape, I have to not leave too much paint on, whether it's a cardboard or whether it's the card. Don't leave too much paint on. I have to make a spot for my navy. Pour that on. Now there's no silicone in the navy. It doesn't need it. The silicone's in the other colours. And if you do like to have a band at the top like I do with my swipes, the silicone will leave all these little pits, little dots. And it's fine, it'll dry fine, it just looks pitty when it's wet, but it dries perfect. Now for my swiping tool, my little sheet of plastic. Used to be a document holder. This is, I don't know, the front or the back, and I just cut it open and I have two pieces out of it. I don't like wet paper towel personally. That's just paper towel there to catch my swipe drips. I like this, and you can wipe it afterwards, which is great, reusable. So I'm just going to touch that there. When you stand, don't stand with your feet next to each other, because you need to transfer your weight back. And if you've got your feet next to each other, when you swipe back like that, you're going to fall over. So put one foot behind the other before you start. And just touch your swipe colour. Try not to touch your other colours, because you just want the blue to be pulled over. And just go nice and slowly. Fluid motion. Don't stop. Once you've started, don't stop, because the plastic will dip down. If you stop halfway through, your plastic will drop down and you'll have like a dent in your work. So just keep going. Only swipe once. I find it better just to swipe once. If you swipe twice, your cells end up being smaller and you do get a little bit more mud. Now, I don't torch at this stage. I find if I torch and heat the paint, it melts and the cells are distorted. I want nice, round, plump, juicy cells. So I'm just going to wait. I'm going to fix up my sides here with the navy, because I do like my navy band at the top. Put a little bit of navy up there where it's, the swipe has rubbed it off a little bit. Okay. So lots of cells popping up. So it's nice to know that this mix you can swipe with it. Over here, where I'm getting this like a caterpillar here and here, I think the plastic must have lost contact a little bit. You don't tend to get that on the canvases. You tend to get it more on the cardboard. The canvas is, you know, obviously much more firm. So I think that's just because the canvas might have dipped a little bit, or I don't know, maybe I've just gone a bit fast there and I've lost contact and the plastic's lifted. So I've got that, but never mind. You can't, well, in my opinion, I don't think any pour is perfect. I always have sections where I love and sections that I don't really love. So love all of that, don't love those two, but hey, you just live with it. If you try and fix these things, you end up ruining your whole pour. And then I just run my finger under here, get that excess paint off. This is just a cookie cooling rack. They're great for if you want to practice or just do a little pour, use your cardboard. You can use an A4 card, you don't have to use the A3. And then you can get the smaller cookie trays. I started off doing the smaller ones. And then I upgraded to these bigger ones. Just trying to lift that corner so I can run my finger under there. After you've done your pour, you just, well, it doesn't have to be straight away, but sometime during the same day, pick it up, transfer it over onto your table or wherever it's going to sit with a piece of grease-proof paper underneath it, and just leave it there to dry. It'll dry nice and flat, and hopefully if your card's thick enough it shouldn't curl over. You can frame these when you're done. There's no reason why you can't pop them in a frame with or without glass. Now I'm going to show you the one I did yesterday and see what you think of the comparison. So this one is just Floetrol, and the colours are kind of blended more when I poured them. That one has got the PVA in it. I personally think that's really beautiful. I really love those big blue cells. They look like big bubbles coming up, champagne bubbles. I'm really happy with that. That's the other one again. See how the cells have all joined together and they've lost their roundness? They're kind of bumping into each other, and when they bump into each other they lose their roundness. And so that's what I've been trying to avoid, which is why I've gone to PVA in my mix to try and get these round cells. I'm going to take you in for a close-up because I want to show you in particular some of these cells. Look at these, they're like big blue moons in a dark night. But look at these, they've got 3 rings. Now that is the cell, the elusive cell that I'm going for. And the navy and the orange and the blue are all in these cells in the middle here. This one's down here where it only had the blue and the orange. You've only got blue and orange cells. But where the navy has come over the blue, which has come over the orange, I've got a 3-toned cell, which is just beautiful. I'll take you in for a close-up. And those orange cells in the middle with the dark blue in them, they are really beautiful too. So I'm really happy with this pour. I'll tilt that up a little bit if I can, because you don't need to see all that dark base, do you? You just need to see the pretty cells. There we go. Now I'll point those little cells out to you if I can. I'll get a little pointer, a little bamboo stick. These are great for picking things out. Okay, so look at that. Those two there are just beautiful. And then this one has got an orange ring with the navy, and then it's got the light blue in the middle. That one has got the orange ring with the navy, and it's got like a darker blue in the middle. Just gorgeous. And then these up here, orange with navy. So you get a variety. These big ones up here, beautiful, beautiful, nice big round cells. Just plain blue in the back there, in the background. Dark background, I should say. And of course we have these little tiny, tiny ones. These are our Floetrol cells, these little tiny dots. Always get them with Floetrol. And then the coconut milk hair serum is giving us these bigger ones, these multicoloured ones. Even these tiny little ones, I don't know if you can see from there, but they are multicoloured. They've got other colours in them. I will just give it a really quick torch just to pop bubbles. Don't want to do too much to it. Just doing that, I've had a whole heap more of little orange cells pop up. And a few of the... Actually, I might just go over in this darker bit here. No, nothing else wants to come up. See that paint up here, this navy, it's quite thick. It's the thickest that the navy's going to be. And then as you drag it down, the navy gets thinner and thinner and thinner because it's obviously spreading out. So where the navy is and it's thicker, the cells are going to be more round and better shaped, and then as you get down here the paint gets thinner and thinner, so that's when the cells are less stable in a thinner mix and they tend to get a bit more wobbly. But it's saying that if you have your swipe colour too thick, the cells can't come through. It's just like puts a block over it, nothing can come up. So it just takes a little bit of experimenting as to what you can and can't do. Now I think that these cells here might have changed shape since I've torched. Probably shouldn't have done that. I was the one that told you don't torch because it melts the paint and makes your cells all wobbly, and then I went and did exactly the same thing. Although they could have just stretched on their own, who knows. Okay, I think I will leave it there. Thank you for watching, thank you for all your support, and have a go at these colours, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.